Hey, I am so excited to come to you today for Client Check-in Day to kind of share an amazing experience. And shout out to a couple clients who came, Ruth and Kara Harker. So it was so good to be with them and just kind of take time out of our busy lives because everybody's busy. I mean, it's crazy. But I tell you what, it's worth it because that rejuvenation, that reset is priceless. So I wanted to share a few notes that I had written from the event. And, the thing that kind of kept standing out to me was ego, but I'll talk about that in a second. So let's see. Or maybe I'll talk about it sooner than I thought I would. So, the mission of Optavia is really awakening those to what is possible and is such an important part of it within ourselves as well to do that. And so one of the things he was talking about, a slide that had like taste manipulation, and like this is a real thing. So if you're like addicted to like Doritos and Skittles or whatever it is, there's a total reason for it. Like they literally have science to try to figure it out so that it's an addictive substance and also so that it's super cheap. So it's not high quality nutrition, right? So it's also instant. The advertising is saturated. It's kind of like, have you ever heard the word food porn? How it's like in your face and it's just like looks so good. It's cheap. It has high fructose corn syrup. They're high glycemic foods, and the satisfaction versus pleasure. He went into the detail on that. And then somebody was giving 3 pointers, and she said, be inspired, which is your personal responsibility. Be inspired, be committed, and get into action. And she shared those 3 things, and I don't know if she did this consciously, but there are 3 things that we're in control of. They all correlate with exactly what she said. Your perception, your choices, and your actions are what we're in charge of. So inspired can be your perception, committed can be your choices, and action, it says get into action, so actions. And so Dr. Anderson talked about ego, and like sometimes people, it's there to protect us and keep us from danger. But in the world that we have today, a lot of times it just kind of messes with us. And whether that's like, hey, I'm just not committed, or like, I know better, or I'm unwilling to be uncomfortable. Like there's so much to learn about the natural man, or however you want to call it. But when we get our egos in the way, we feel stuck. I was listening to something yesterday that was saying, when you feel stuck, it's your spirituality saying, I need growth. I thought that was like mic drop, so good. So medication, the medical system is made for sick care and it is not providing health. They had a doctor's panel and these doctors were talking about that very thing, how they're just, giving pills to everybody, but they're not getting healthier. And so really the cause root of like the healthy habits that we have is such an important part of it. He talks about between stimulus and response and below the line thinking. And it always comes back to that quote for me personally. In between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is your power to choose. And in that choice lies your freedom and your growth. So powerful. So what is your payoff by being stuck? Because there is one, I promise. And if we're not consciously aware of it, we're going to stay stuck as well. And so the consciousness around all of these things doesn't just happen on your own. That's why we dive into the resources and, deciding that you're ready to move on. And then he also talked about somebody said, create a mantra. Like, what is it for you? And emotions are part of being alive. They're not bad. It's a part of the process. It actually gives you the ability to feel joy, peace, connection to yourself when we choose that. Work is love made visible. I thought that was just really meaningful to me personally, and maybe that's the work of you as a mom, but I thought that was really good. And then thinking about your own personal mission. Somebody was sharing his story. His name's Jamil. And he was sharing his reasons for doing what he's doing as far as coaching goes. And he was saying he had his reasons, which was he wanted to be happy, he wanted a stress-free life, and he loves people. And then he also had some what he called nitty-gritty reasons, and honestly, these have to do with the ego, but this is used in a way that serves him, so to speak, in his world, okay? So he had, when people say I can't do stuff, like my wife, that was one. Another is his best friend John, who said that he was going to get cancer. And here he is, like 20 years later, doesn't have cancer. And and someone who said it was a pyramid scheme, and he's like, I'm going to show you. It's absolutely not. You don't even know what you're talking about. So it was just kind of interesting how whatever reasons you have for getting healthier, you need to know them. And you need to be mindful and concentrate on if they're serving you as well, the consciousness there. And mine are, I'll share with you what mine are. Personal growth and peace. That's my number 1. Number 2 is awakening others and serving. And 3 is showing what's possible to my family and those who pray for another way. There's so many people who are suffering, and that suffering they don't know is optional. And so I just really want to make a difference. Okay, so I was also at this event, and it was an after party, and there was this lady who was in a different religion than me, but I was listening to what she was saying, and she's like, just like Octavia, she's like, I've been working on my relationship with Jesus. And she was really excited. And she said, I read, because we're reading the life book. I share. I listen to the Holy Ghost, to Jesus. And I write. And I just, today, I just feel it in my heart because I love this program so much. It helps me connect with Jesus. And it helps me be a better person. And I always take referrals. I just got a referral from Laura. Thank you. Shout out to you. I'll be giving you wellness credit. And this summer is coming, and there's so many people looking to get healthier. And I've been working on my I was going to show my muscles, but maybe that's not appropriate. I've been working so hard on my arm strength, and I am just feeling so good, loving the EAAs, just killing my health right now, and it's contagious. And so let's do this together. I hope you guys are having a good day. Those are my takeaways from this event, and I hope you guys are doing lovely.